Good morning and welcome back to Miniature Monday on Gaming with ADHD. Today we are continuing our look at the line of Battletech miniatures from Catalyst Game Labs. Specifically, we're looking at the Inner Sphere Striker Lance today. Now, if you've watched any of my previous videos, I'm not going to repeat myself much, but just so you're aware, I am a big fan of the Technical Readout series of supplements. And so what we're going to be doing is we're going to take a look at the contents of the box. Obviously, that would just take us a couple of minutes, but I'm also going to give you some close-ups of the miniatures themselves while also looking at art from the various Tech Readout supplements that have come out over the years. So before we do get started, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I keep putting more of these out. It's fun to have you guys come along and get your comments about what you remember from when you were a kid, what you like about the new models. And I've got more of these videos coming, so make sure that you subscribe. That way you can be notified when the new videos come out. In addition, I do have plans for more Battletech content once all of the unboxings are done. And so if you like what I see here, I would absolutely appreciate a like, comment, anything you want to do to, to just interact and let me know about your Battletech stories. So with that being said, let's get into the box and start taking a look. So, as we can see here, we've got the 4 mechs that we can see through the front of the box. And, if we take these out, we've got our Panther, a Blackjack, a Wolfhound, and a Jenner. Now, these are all from Technical Readout 2750, one of the very first Tech Readout books. And actually, no, one of them was from 3050. That was the Wolfhound. If you've been around for a while or if you've been reading some of the novels, you'll know that that was the mech of Phelan Kell in the first Blood of Kerensky novel. Lethal Heritage, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong on that one. But let's set that aside and take a quick look at the cards that we get in the package. Now, keep in mind, you do get 2 cards for each mech. One is going to be double-sided with the pilots, so that you have, a little bit more flavor as far as who's driving the mech. The card's going to give you the gunnery ability and the piloting ability, a little bit of background about the character, and then any special abilities that may apply when they are piloting their mech. And so we've got a Karita Jenner. We've got another Karita Jenner. We've got a Steiner Wolfhound and a Mercenary Wolfhound with the Kellhounds, obviously. We've got a Rosselhog Republic Panther and a Karita Panther, a Lao Blackjack, and a Davian Blackjack. So, because the Inner Sphere is based on 4 mechs in a unit, that is why we get 4 in this pack as opposed to the 5 that we saw with the Clan Star or the 6 that we see with Comstar. Let's see. So we've got the Alpha Strike cards as well. Now, keep in mind, these are for the somewhat rules-light version of Battletech, allowing you to play with a lot of different mechs on the table. So we've got our Jenner, the Wolfhound, the Panther, and the Blackjack. These are all double-sided as well, so you'll have a little bit of variety. Not quite as much as you would see in a regular game of Battletech, but a little bit of difference just to, just to make it a little more interesting. All right. So with that said, let's get into the actual art comparison. So the first mech we're going to be taking a look at is this one here. This is the Blackjack. Now, I always call it a little bit of a Rifleman Light. And so it's got a couple of either energy weapons or autocannons in the arms, and basically it is a direct fire or an anti-aircraft kind of mech. So provide defense versus all of the aerospace fighters out there. Obviously, this is a bit older, but you can see it's got these big feet here down below, which I think is pretty common for this mech. He's got this ring around the torso, which you'll be able to see a little bit better when some of the newer art comes in, because they've kept that, and it actually gives it a little bit of a distinct look. So this was our original piece of art that we saw in 3025. This came out soon after. This is the Camo Specs version of the mech. Remember, Camo Specs was an early supplement that they put out that just had a bunch of different mechs in variety of different paint schemes. So giving people an idea on how they could paint up their miniatures. We then got this version out of Tech Readout 3050. So you can still see that distinctive ring around the torso and the ring on the shoulders, although that does eventually go away. But this one, not the greatest piece of art. The lower torso and the legs just seem a little spindly. I realize it is only a 45-ton mech, but, you know, come on, something's got to hold it up. All right, we then get this from 3050 Upgrade. So, cleaning this up a little bit, the legs don't look as spindly, but again, still that ring around the torso, and the head actually ends up being kind of distinctive in the end as well. And I say that because when we look at the Ill-Clan version, to me, the cockpit actually retains a lot of that early look. We've got the ring around the torso, and then you can kind of see the rings for the shoulders, but they're also covered up by these blocky shoulder guards. So overall, I think the new art is I mean, obviously it's much better. Overall, I think the Ill-Clan version of the Tech Readout art is a vast improvement, but you know, to me, I still get the nostalgia for the older art as well. So I don't dislike the old art, but they've clearly upped their game with the new art. So that is the Blackjack. And then the next one we're going to move into is the Panther. Now, this one has seen quite a few changes over the years, but also, you know, still kind of retains its look. You know what? I'm going to try something. Always good to improvise in the middle of a video, but get a little bit extra light on the Panther itself. So, sorry it casts that harsh shadow there in the back, but I think it'll give you some more detail. So, this is the original piece of art from 3025. It's got the... one thing about the Panther, it's always had that very distinctive head that, you know, very much, yeah, it has kind of a cat-like, you know, animal look to it. It's got the large energy weapon there on the side for a 35-ton mech, so he's not carrying a ton of armament. He also made an appearance in Camo Specs, so a little bit simpler piece of art, if you ask me. But not a bad piece of art. Again, you know, showing off some sort of a color version of the mech. Now, this was from the Field Manual Merrick, so it was one of the rare color plates. Kind of seemed to take a step backward in the art department as far as I'm concerned. Not bad, but kind of the elbows here kind of have that Robbie the Robot kind of feel to them. So, not the greatest, but Merrick also doesn't show up very often, so I figured I'd show this one off. just to remind everyone, yes, Merrick is a country in BattleTech. All right, we then get this one out of, I believe this was 3050. Yes, Tech Readout 3050. And then a newer version in 3050 Upgrade. So, again, the head pretty much stays consistent across the board. Now, it's still kind of got the Robbie the Robot, elbows, but I like that they put a little bit of detail in here. Kind of showing, oh yeah, no, there's actuators. It's just kind of covering all of that up. So, and then this one was from 3085. Now, this one is a very, very different piece of art. But if you are, depending on when you got into Battletech, or should I say MechWarrior, you may recognize this one, because this is actually the style of the miniature that was used for the MechWarrior Dark Age game. All right. Then finally we end up with this one for Ilclan and what's used to make the miniature. Honestly, I couldn't have asked for a better rendition of this. I like the feet. Oh yeah, the feet and the head, both giving kind of that feline look to it. Overall, this is a great figure, great representation of the mech itself. So that is the Panther, and next we're gonna move into the Wolfhound. Now, like I said, this is the only one from this set that comes from Tech Readout 3050, weighing in at 35 tons. So this whole box, actually, if you're looking to keep everything about the same size, this whole box basically comes in as medium class mechs. So anywhere from 25 to, or actually no, technically we've got 3 lights and 1 medium. That's what it is. I screwed that up. But all within 10 tons of each other. So everything is 35 except for the Blackjack, which is 45. All right, so then we've got the Wolfhound here, known for its distinctive trio of lasers in the torso. It's supposed to have a bit of a canine head to it, so kind of juxtaposed against the Panther. But in this early piece of art from 3050, not so much of a hound head on it. So, but I'd actually have to say this is probably one of the stronger pieces of 3050 art. We then go to, oh, wait a second. No, this is from the Wolf's Dragoon source book. Okay, so this is from Wolf's Dragoons. This is the 3050 piece of art. I screwed that up like I have a tendency to do sometimes. So, a little bit of a profile. You still, again, don't see the head very well, but, definitely see the lasers in the chest, the 1 laser in the arm. This is actually a decent piece of art, in my opinion. We then get this one from 3050 Upgrade. I'm not quite sure what they did to the head on this one. Not a fan. The checkerboard on the back of it also kind of throws it off. So, kind of some interesting art, but, it's also from 16 years ago. And then this one, 3085. So we then start getting closer to the actual, dog's head that it's supposed to have. And then it looks like it also then dropped one of the lasers from the torso. And then Tech Readout 3039. So, again, not quite sure what they were doing with the head on this one. But then we get this one from Ilclan. So, the head, it's got kind of the ears. again, none of them really did the dog's head like I remember reading about in the books. When I say the books, I mean the novels. When I was introduced to BattleTech, Phelan Kells piloting Grinner, and they talk about how it looks like like a dog, and it's supposed to. And I don't think they captured that very well in this. It's not a bad looking mech if you're just going into it for a mech, but not necessarily the greatest if you're trying to recreate a hound of some kind. But overall, not a bad robot in and of itself. There you go. All right, so that is the Wolfhound. And then our final one is the Jenner. Now, this one definitely hits a lot of those nostalgia buttons for me. This was one of the early mechs that I purchased. I remember it came in two pieces. One was the torso and legs, and then you had another piece that was the cockpit and this, body piece. I don't know what the heck it was. That it was glued on to the legs. It's just got a very, very distinctive look, a distinctive shape. And like I said, it's one of the ones that I actually owned back in yon olden times. They upgraded the art to this for Tech Readout 3050. Still very much captures that feel. Even back then, the legs were very, very spindly. So they kept that. Still, even with the skinny legs on this version from 3050 upgrade. And then we get this one from our Ill Clan series of readouts. Now, I think they have absolutely captured the essence of the Jenner. The kind of radar dome cockpit, just the weird body shape is really all I can say. But they've also made some upgrades. The early one, there was, using new quirks and things like that, there would technically be no torso twist, but I think they made a good decision on how they modeled it, so the torso actually can turn on this version. Overall, I think the legs are a little beefy in the design, but overall, it's fine. It's, like I said, it's a Jenner, and man, does that just bring back all those memories. So there we go. That is the Inner Sphere Striker Lance. Let me know what you thought down below. Which of these did you have back in the olden days, or which of these is your favorite in the new version? But overall, I do appreciate you watching. Don't forget, there will be a link down below to Drive Through RPG. It is an affiliate link. I do get credit if you use it towards any of your purchases, but it doesn't cost you any extra, and it does help out the channel if you are interested. So I do appreciate your time. Thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye.